The World Health Organization will answer a key question today. Is the deadly outbreak of coronavirus coming out of China an international emergency? Medical experts will announce their decision on that next hour. More cases of the new virus are emerging, and the number of deaths is growing. And now there's another worry. The virus has reached North America. So here's where things stand. China says 17 people have now died from the mystery virus. That country has seen more than 470 infections across 13 provinces, with Hong Kong, by the way, confirming its first illness today. Several cases have also appeared in Thailand, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. And yesterday, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the first case in North America. A man in his 30s reported his symptoms after landing in Seattle from Wuhan, China, which is the epicenter for this virus. He is in isolation. We are hearing he is doing okay. We are certainly keeping an eye on those emergency talks I mentioned at the WHO. CBC's Aaron Collins is tracking any response to the virus. He is live in London. What's happening at these talks, Aaron?
Yeah, so Hannah, essentially, the group there is going to be looking at how seriously the global community needs to respond to this outbreak, how much of a threat it is. And when they're thinking about this, the real hammer is, as you mentioned, to declare this an international public health emergency. And doing that would really trigger a coordinated international response. So that's the hammer in this situation. And doing this is pretty rare. It's only been done, a handful of times for things like swine flu and Ebola in the past. So, the key things when they're going to be looking at whether or not they should be using that hammer is essentially two things. How harmful is this virus? So how deadly is it when people get it? And there is some good news on that front. There is at least some evidence that the virus is not as dangerous as SARS, for example, which killed around 10% of those who were affected. Now, the other big factor, of course, is how easily this virus spreads. And there's some indication that the news there isn't quite as good. Have a listen.
There is human-to-human transmission of this virus, and indeed there appear to be what are called super spreading events, which are events where one person can infect many others, which is similar to what has been seen for MERS and SARS coronavirus.
So the real trick here for the World Health Organization is to do what's necessary to protect people's health, obviously, but to do it without dramatically impacting things like global trade. So really, it's about striking that balance, Suhana.
And we know different countries, Aaron, are bringing in different measures. They're trying to stop the virus from spreading. In Canada, 3 different cities, there are checks, enhanced checks at airports. What is the UK doing?
Yeah, similar to what some of those other countries are doing, and what they've announced today, the government's announced today, is that they're going to begin monitoring the passengers arriving from Wuhan. Now, there's only a few flights from there into Heathrow each week, and now those flights, when they land, they're going to be met on the ground here at Terminal 4 by a medical team, and that team's going to be, checking on folks who arrive, but also handing out some information, some pamphlets and stuff, so that the folks who do land from Wuhan, if they develop symptoms of this virus later on, will know how to recognize it, and they'll know what to do, which of course is to report to medical experts to get themselves checked out to try and prevent the spread of this virus. Now, these are, as you mentioned, they're similar steps to some of the ones being taken by neighboring countries to China, as well as some cities in the US, Australia, and really part of the concern is that so many Chinese people are traveling at this time of the year because of the Lunar New Year. So that's really adding to the concern that this could spread. And of course, as people travel from these areas, the virus could spread too. And of course, all of this can change, as you mentioned earlier, when that panel announces its decision in under an hour in Geneva.
All right, we're all watching. I know you are too. Thank you, Aaron. CBC's Aaron Collins. He is in London.